Brendan, good to see you in person this year. It was nice to be back out there after missing the opener and kind of leading the way with 20 points.
Yeah, it was really upsetting to miss the first game, but you gotta take care of your body first, and so it was nice tonight, being back out there with the guys.
Did you cramp up there at the end?
Yeah. First game ever in my life that I have cramp like that in game, so I don't know what's going on, but.
Hunter, I'm curious what the post-game message was from Jeff Linder after this one.
Just, we can't have 20 turnovers. Being an older team, we got to be able to, execute towards the end of the game, not let the pressure of their full court defense get to us, and just kind of be strong and disciplined and not, it's the first game of the year you go through that, it's always tough. So, it's a good learning experience for us, but, just basically that we got to take care of the ball. We can't have 20 turnovers, and we just got to win the game in a more older fashion, I guess.
So how feisty was this Nicholls State team? Like they obviously they didn't go away the whole time. So how tough were these guys to match up with?
I mean, they were pretty tough. They never quit. They were hitting some really tough shots, but it's good playing against a team like that never quits, because it makes you keep your motor going and never slow down.
Brendan, Jeff kind of mentioned several times leading up to the season that you really improved during the off season. Take us through what you worked on, what your process was to be a major factor on this team.
The biggest thing was trying to play with the ball instead of just shooting, which I know I shot a lot today, but my shot was feeling pretty good. But just playing and driving and making the extra passes, and I'm really trying to focus on my defense and my communication.
Do you feel like you can help, make up for some of the threes you lose with Drake going?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm never gonna be able to shoot like Drake did, but I'll do my best.
Hunter, are you disappointed you guys didn't wear them down? They're coming from sea level or maybe even below sea level.
Yeah, we definitely there's a few moments in the game where I think we really took advantage of them being tired, but where we need to take that next step is to not just have a 2-minute stretch, to take that 2 minutes to 4 minutes through the media timeout, and then we jumped out to 28, and then we kind of relaxed, and then they scored 6 points in a row, and I think that's where we need to take that jump of really taking advantage of teams in those periods.
Hunter, aside from the points, obviously, what does this guy bring to the court that you maybe didn't have against Colorado Christian?
Just another guy that can shoot the ball, another guy that's played, significant minutes and knows what to do. In our offense, we like to space the floor, so that just gives Ethan and all them more driving rooms. And, he, basically if he's open, he's a knockdown shooter, so it just gives us another 3-point threat. And then, like he said, he's been working on his, dribbling and everything, so he can really punch the ball and attack the rim. So he just brings another aspect of the team that we need. So
thanks, man.
So you guys shot 29 more free throws than them as a team. So and then you guys won by 11. So how much did getting to the line would help you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, it definitely helped us out a lot. If we were really dialed in on defensively, like Winslow said, they were making some really tough twos, which we want, but we got to force them to miss. And, we got to make our free throws, and then, like I said earlier, not turn the ball over, and then instead of 11-point game, that might be 20.
I think it's a good thing that we got a lot of free throws, because it means we're being aggressive. But at the end of the day, it's free points. We got to be able to knock those down, especially in crunch time.
Yep.
With obviously, Graham being out, you were out one game, now J.O.'s out one game. You got a lot of new guys, a lot of different, mixing and matching. Does that make it hard to get in a rhythm, and how important are these non-conference games to figure that out?
Not really. I think we all do a pretty good job of playing with each other, and it's like Coach Linder said, the next person to come off the bench, there's not a drop off. And so everyone that either starts or comes off the bench has a significant impact on how we play.
yeah, and the grease strip really helped us. Coach Lender threw in different lineups. Obviously we had Graham in there, but we play a lot in practice, so we know how to play with each other. And I think it's just still fine tuning it, and that's why these non-conference games are really good. So.
Brendan, I don't know if you're at liberty to say why you didn't play in the first game. I think we heard spasms or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you can say, but how tough was that to sit and watch this group?
It's tough because I really like playing with these guys, but at the same time, I didn't think I was going to be able to be 100% going into that game, so I let those guys take care of business, which I know they can, and they did, so.
You just wanted to rest.
Yeah, my back
He
was
wasn't ready to
spasming.
play.
I messed it up during the lift, so it was, it was real rough.
Nicholls State is a team that's won the Southland the last 2 years and it's been in the NCAA tournament. Picked second in their league. I mean, from a talent standpoint, they got some guys that, they've played in a lot of big venues before, so they're not scared about coming into the AA and having one game under their belt at Arizona, which, with Arizona and right now with them too, a lot like us with, some of their front court guys out. Arizona's a tough matchup when you don't have, when you have your guys, let alone when you don't have them. And that's where if you have a Graham in that type of game, you can take advantage of maybe a size. One of those games where, Maldo really never got a rhythm, got after him pretty good at halftime. Being a 6-year senior, and he knows when he gets sped up a little bit, that's when the turnovers go up, and it's just unfortunate and inexcusable in terms of some of those, because they were just, there was no reason to turn it over, and so I expect more out of him. But they're a team that they led the country in fouls last year. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to just try to keep getting after you. And I thought for the most part early on we did a good job of taking care of the ball. But as the game went on, and where I felt like we could have, I didn't think, we always had that lead, but we just never had in the second half. And we never kind of could stretch it from the fact that we would either turn it over or now they made some tough shots. I thought our defense in the first half was tremendous. They shot 32% in the second half. Now, if we go back and watch the film, they made a lot of tough non-paint twos, but you got to make those guys miss those shots. That's Micah Thomas. That's what he does. He makes those type of shots. But I think it's a good learning experience for our guys, because we're going to face some other teams that want to try to crawl up into you, and it's a hard game. To really try to run, pretty offense. That's a game where if you can get stops, and you could see they were struggling with the altitude. I'm not sure, maybe the later game, I didn't think our energy level was probably as good as I'd like it for it to be. I thought, we had moments, but I thought, from a defensive standpoint, we forced those misses and we tried to get out, and we missed a lot of open shots too. But I thought some of those open shots, even though they were open, we might not have had the rhythm I like. We want paint touch threes and rotation threes. We don't want non-paint threes, but we didn't turn the ball over 24 times like Arizona, but we were at 20 and told Max, it's hard to play you if you're going to make, 1 assist and 7 turnovers, but, that's part of it, and he'll learn from it. He'll come in my office and he'll watch the game tomorrow. Maldo's Maldo. We know he's going to be fine, but I thought overall we did a good job. I thought, Hunter Thompson had a really good first half. Thought he did a tremendous job, not just from making threes, but I thought from a rebounding standpoint, defensively, that was about as good as I've seen him do in a long time. Second half, he just, he couldn't make a shot, but that's what happens sometimes. And the way our team's constructed right now and built without Graham is that, we're going to have to, rely on shooting more threes. And but we got to also understand that, we got to fight for paint touches. If we can't get the ball in the paint the traditional way by getting the ball to Graham down low, and teams which we've seen every double team known to man with Maldo and Graham, so it's not like anything they did was tricky. But it's just until you kind of see it, you got to feel it, and I think our guys felt it. But I'd rather learn from a win instead of learning from a loss. And Brendan Wenzel was tremendous in his minutes, especially coming off being hurt, and I was worried about his rhythm, and he found a way to come in and make some big shots and did a really good job from a defensive standpoint. So it's tough when you're juggling lineups and you got guys out and you're expecting certain guys to play and guys start cramping up and I've never seen anything like it. I've never had anything like it in my time as a head coach, as an assistant coach. Hopefully we can figure out what's going on, but I thought overall we did a pretty good job.
What are the advantages of all these lineups you weren't expecting, and what makes it such a...
I'm not sure the advantage of it, but at least we have enough guys that you can throw in there and they can go make a play. I thought Jake played well tonight. I thought he did a good job of making some open shots. He missed a couple there late, but and even from a defensive standpoint. But he's a guy too that I'm challenging. He's got to go. He can't be a one rebound guy. And as I told the guys after the game, it's a mistake game. The team that makes the fewest mistakes win, and we had 20 mistakes offensively in terms of turnovers. Defensively in the first half, we had 3 scouting mistakes, 3 big ones where we went under on the ball screen on on Micah Thomas twice, and he made us pay. And then we knew that we were going to switch over. What's our guy? Caleb Huffman. We were going to switch over to him being a player when the 2 bigs were in. And Max got confused on that. We gave up a 3, so there's 9 points. And so I tell the guys, if we want to play more, make fewer mistakes when you're out there. And I don't want to be a revolving door where you're going one guy in, one guy out, because it's hard for guys to get a rhythm that way. But until we kind of get J.O. back and, and even getting Nate Barnhart back, that's where, we miss him because Caden, was a freshman tonight, which, hey, that's what he is. But he's got to find a way to play a little bit harder for a little bit longer stretches if he wants to help us.
Jeff, what does Wenzel bring to this lineup that maybe you didn't have against Colorado Christian? And do you want to see him shooting that many threes?
Yeah, if he makes that many, yeah. He's a good shooter. That's why he got recruited out of high school. That's what we want him to do. As long as he's shooting the right ones. I thought the one he shot after he made the first one, and we ran a play to get him another one, and he shot a tough contested one. I told him he should have shot faked that, knowing that those guys were going to go for a shot fake. But him making shots is a bonus. What he can do defensively. He's also a guy, as we saw. If you got 4 rebounds, he's a guy that'll go in there, crash. He's a guy that knows how to move out without the ball, playing off of Maldo. And so he's been a guy that, as I've been saying since the summertime and in the fall. Him and Noah Reynolds have been probably, with Graham and Maldo. Those 2 guys. In terms of maybe even production every day. Those 2 guys might have been our most productive players, and so it's no surprise. And I challenged him pretty good because he was not very good after the Colorado scrimmage, and told him he was going to make his way back to being the 11th man, and he responded and helped us win the game.
So Ethan Anderson, I think he got 2 fouls pretty early in the first half, but how much have you kind of seen his role develop just as the one kind of taking the ball up and having the offense run through him?
Yeah, his role's evolving, and my challenge to him is he's got to be a guy that I didn't think him or Noah, which if I'm going to start those 2 guys, I didn't think their energy level was good enough to start the game, and when your energy level's not right, that's when you end up picking up some silly fouls, and whether they're fouls or not, that's not for me to decide, and you just can't put yourself in those positions, and but I thought in the second half, Ethan did a really good job in terms of pushing the tempo. He can really push the ball, and he can get in the paint and make plays, and that's what we need from him. But also, he's got to find a way to play harder and for longer if he wants to play more, and that's the challenge that he's had since he's gotten here is the ability to play harder. If he can play hard, as I said, if you can play and not get tired, you'll play more. But it's not because I don't want to play you less, but I can't afford you to die out there. And that's not there. Towards the second half, there were some stretches where him and Maldo, where we had some of those turnovers where they kind of should have came back and got the ball, and they kind of relaxed. But it's early on, and he's a big part of what we're doing, and he'll definitely learn from it. He's a smart player.
Are you concerned about Xavier's slow start?
No, I just for him, and that's the beauty. That's our team right now is that. I thought the way the game was, that what Kenny and Jake and those other guys in their minutes felt like they brought something a little bit different that we needed tonight, and I think that's kind of going to be who we are here for a while, is that based off of kind of the opponents and knowing that team who plays smaller, who really gets up in pressure and makes it hard to get passes into the wing entries, is that you need a couple guys in the case of like Noah and Ethan that can go and kind of get through that pressure and make plays, and that's that was a reason why we kind of started the way we started. But there's going to be nights where, you know, you're going to need X and need X to make shots. But that's just that was what was called for tonight.
Like you said, you like to, you know, learn these lessons by winning. But do you like these kind of games where there's a ton of stuff to show your guys tomorrow and a ton of stuff to learn on film?
Yeah, but it's also too a lot like last year when we played Pine Bluff and Nicholls State. Some of those teams where, you know, we don't see that a lot, but. And we got a quick turnaround. We got Southeast Louisiana on Sunday, so we'll go back and, you know, tomorrow we'll watch some clips. You know, more so, you know, the defensive mistakes that we made, and then we'll watch a little bit of the offense in terms of just how can we, against a team like that, how can we develop a little bit more rhythm. But I think the biggest thing is just trying to clean up some of the defensive errors and then make our move on to Southeast Louisiana.
How much do the whistles too, kind of with the rhythm?
Yeah, I mean that's just part of it. I mean each game's going to be different, and I thought that for us, I mean that played no part. I mean I'm more so as just I think a little bit. I mean 8 o'clock starts sometimes when you haven't done that before. It can kind of mess with you a little bit, and I said the energy was just okay. But I do appreciate the students who are showing up for the games. I mean the students have been good. The last 2 games we need them to be even that much better. Got to get a little bit more energy in there. But we're also as a team. I mean we got to be the ones that bring the energy as well. And I just thought our energy level tonight was good, but it wasn't great.
So you shot 29 more free throws than them. I know there was a couple there at the end that I think you missed 4 in a row or something at the end. But so how big is that free throw part of this offense?
Well, I mean, with the way we're built with Maldo and Graham, I mean, that's where we put a lot of foul pressure on you. And, you know, and they're a team that fouls a lot. I mean, they led the country in fouls last year, if I'm right. And so, you know, I thought we did a good job of getting to the line. But when we get to the line, you got to step up and make it. I mean, right there down the stretch, I mean, Ethan, you know, you can't miss 4 shots in a row. I mean, if in a late game situation, I mean, I need him in there in terms of his ability to break the press, his ability to pass it, but also at the same time too. I mean, you got to make sure that we go up there and make him pay at the foul line. And so, but hopefully that's part of it. But you know, each game's different, and just you got to adjust, and that's what I think we just had to keep finding ways to adjust the teams we play, and until we kind of get our full team back. I mean, it's just part of it. But that's athletics. I mean, who knows? I mean, when Graham will be back, J.O. hopefully will be back here on Sunday, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
What about Barnhart? How long is he out?
Well, hopefully he'll be back Sunday. So, I mean, he's day-to-day right now, but, I mean, that's the goal is to have hopefully him and J.O. back on Sunday. And that's, I think that's where, J.O. you miss in terms of just some of the energy in a game like that where his ability to take one dribble, get to the rim and be able to dunk it, or to be able to, play off of that pressure to cut, having played with Maldo so much and his ability to cut off the ball and to create some of those easy baskets. But, hopefully he'll be back. But if not, we'll have to figure it out.